This enchanted lullaby.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is, and each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
This enchanted lullaby. This enchanted lullaby.
You know what? Global family, look in the mirror. I want you to take a good look. You are the champion, the hero of your story. No matter how much praise you may give some of us who may help you on this journey, it is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Tony, again, I give you accolades for, I don't even know what to say, for all the efforts, man, that you put in my behalf.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is.
It is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Person should find that truth out for his or herself.
To help you see.
For his or herself.
Greetings, everyone. This is Metaphysic Speaks in the Spirit with Dr. Dilbert Blair, and this is your host, Tony. I hope all of you are doing well within your space and time. I mentioned time. There is only 1,440 minutes in a day. No matter what your belief system is, or who you may pray to, you are not going to get even 1 minute more added to your life. So use your time wisely. Before we begin our conversation, I hope you have your favorite beverage of choice tonight. My beverage is some Rooibos tea. This is from the same batch sold on the Mediciner website. Before we begin our main conversation, the coupon code tonight is Inner Earth. Okay, Inner Earth, INNER, one word all together. Okay, which will give you 15% off plus free shipping on any size order. Coupon code will end on Friday, June 11th. Coupon code can be used on any item on website except events. So let's get into some product spotlight. First, the upcoming herbology class. It is an online class only and will be held on July 17th, 2021. Cost is $150, and this course will be 6 to 8 hours long, and it will probably be closer to the 7-8 hour mark. As you see on the screen now, we will discuss a variety of topics, and of course we will touch on the current world situation and what happens when you bypass your biological defenses to inject foreign matter within yourself, and also why people suggesting supplements like spirulina or chlorella and a few others to get supposedly rid of it are just trying to sell you something. We sell both of those, of course, on the website, and obviously have many other herbal products as well. And even though they are fantastic for the body, they will not help you when foreign engineered non-natural matter has entered your bloodstream. It is going to take much more than taking shots of wheatgrass. This is basic biology. So take charge of your health by learning about herbs, techniques, and remedies for not so common issues around us. This is designed for anyone who wants to empower their health and well-being so you can help yourself and your loved ones. The second product to spotlight is the Crystal Bowl Meditation. This album was recorded at an award-winning music studio in Chicago on May 7th of this year. It didn't have to be changed or tuned to 432 hertz because it already is 432 hertz, which is the scale that unites the body and consciousness with nature. According to Richard Huiskin, music tuned to 432 hertz is softer and calmer, giving greater clarity and is easier on the ears. Meditation music tuned to 432 hertz is relaxing for your body and mind, and also more harmonically pleasant than 440 hertz, which is what most music is at commercially. In purchasing this, you're getting the raw, uncompressed audio, which means you will be listening as close to what you would hear being in person. Here is a testimonial from someone who texted me a strange event that took place while listening. She stated that her daughter, who was a bit rambunctious, stopped in her tracks and came to where the music was being played and just stood there and smiled. This was very odd, and she has never done this before. So it is also child approved. The cost of it, only $10. Yep, there it is. And so many do listen to it in the evening hours, and I get comments all the time about people saying that it's so relaxing. They actually are trying to meditate at times, but it's so relaxing to them that they fall asleep every single time, and so they utilize it to help them get into a deeper state of sleep. So let's move on now to our main topic. All right. So an article published by the Arizona Gazette on April 5th, 1909, says that the Grand Canyon was once a home to a lost civilization which consisted of beings of gigantic proportions. The article, published over 100 years ago, indicates that a massive underground cathedral was also discovered by an explorer called G.E. Kincaid, who stumbled across it while rafting on the Colorado River. In a restricted area of the Grand Canyon, there are pyramids and caves full of hieroglyphics and Egyptian relics. Many people do not know about them, as this information has been suppressed by the federal government for about a century. Some photos here that you will see are here mainly for information purposes and examples of relics, and not from the actual Grand Canyon discovery. The Isis Temple of the Grand Canyon. So when I say Isis, it's quote Isis Temple, unquote. Okay. And you'll hear why I say that. But the sky over this area is restricted airspace. The area surrounding this pyramid and cave on the ground is illegal and treacherous to navigate, and all official reports about this from the Smithsonian and elsewhere have been censored, modified, nullified, or retracted. This still did not stop people from attempting to visit this part of the canyon, and many have been arrested and some have died attempting to climb to these sacred sites over the years. The tunnel is presently on a cliff wall 400 feet above the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon. Archaeologists estimate the man-made cavern is around 3,000 years old, which you could take with a grain of salt, but that's what they estimate. This cavern is over 500 feet long and has several cross tunnels to large chambers. This was the lowest level and last Egyptian tunnel city that was built in the canyon since the time it was constructed. Archaeologists estimate the Colorado River has eroded 300 feet lower. Okay. There were many Egyptian relics that were discovered in Kincaid's Cave, one of which was a pure gold artifact for the Egyptian king Kian. The relic is holding lotus flowers in both hands, which are native to Egypt. This was found in the first cross tunnel of the cave, which was in the exact same location as the shrines in the Valley of the King's tunnel cities, before the kings of ancient Egypt began to build pyramids in above ground cities. These pure gold artifacts from Kincaid's Cave and these Egyptian urns from Powell's Cave, which we get into Powell's Cave shortly, are some of the only historical artifacts from the Grand Canyon on display at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. But where did the rest of them go? At least some of them were obviously photographed and documented, but who knows what wasn't? The first American explorer, archaeologist that searched the Grand Canyon was John Wesley Powell, who partnered with a native named Jacob Vernon Hamblin, which are both pictured here, who served in place of his late partner for the expedition. Powell worked as an explorer slash archaeologist for the U.S. Department of Interior and was the director of the Bureau of Ethnology at the Smithsonian Institute. In 1869, Powell traveled down the Green River to explore the Grand Canyon and was the first person to report any archaeological information to the U.S. government about natives that inhabited the canyon and their history. John Powell also discovered what is known as, which is now called Powell's Cave, and the cave entrance is pictured above. The following is a quote taken directly out of a book that Powell published. In this canyon, great numbers of man-made caves are hollowed out. I first walked down a gorge to the left of a cave and climbed to a bench of the cliff. There was a trail on the cliff bench that was deeply worn into the rock formation. Where the trail crossed some gulches, some steps had been cut. I could see no evidence that the trail had been traveled in a long time. I returned to our camp about 3 p.m., and the men have found more Egyptian hieroglyphics on cliff walls near the cave. We explored the cave and found this shrine and other artifacts. That evening, I sent a team member to notify the Smithsonian Institute of our discovery. We continued to survey the canyon and discovered more Egyptian tunnel cities. I estimated in my report that I think upwards of 50,000 Egyptians had inhabited the Grand Canyon at one time. The shrine that Powell and his team found in Powell's Cave, this was identified as the shrine for King Saperperning. Okay, so I'm pronouncing that, I'm sure, totally wrong. There are people here who probably could pronounce it better, but this king is also known as Seti, okay, who was King Akhenaten's son in 1336 BC, but only lasted 10 years. He became king in 1336 BC, but only lasted 10 years, which was when he died on his last trip to Saqqara, Egypt. There was even sarcophagus discovered. One was opened in the Grand Canyon to see if there were mummies in them before they were sent to the Smithsonian Institute storage building. Today, the Smithsonian claims to have no knowledge of this discovery. The long story on the front page of the Phoenix Gazette clearly indicated that the Smithsonian Institute has sent between 30 and 40 archaeologists to help Kincaid excavate the discovery. Today, though, there are no artifacts or information to be found about the underground settlement. One Smithsonian rep explained that no Egyptian artifacts of any kind have ever been found North or South America. Okay, so no Egyptian artifacts of any kind have ever been found in North or South America. Therefore, I can tell you that the Smithsonian Institute has never been involved in any such excavations. Then what could have prompted such an incredibly detailed newspaper article, one that never had a follow-up piece? Based on the descriptions of Kincaid's Cave discoveries, they would suggest that there had in fact been contact made before Columbus sailed the seas. Not only this, but it will call into question the idea that all natives, okay, me doing my whole quote unquote natives of Turtle Island descended from Ice Age explorers who crossed the Bering Strait. Egyptians in Arizona will require us not only to entirely rewrite history, but also to accept responsibility for being incredibly wrong about the origins of people on our continent. Is it a coincidence that many rock formations in the area have Egyptian names like Tower of Ra, Horus Temple, Osiris Temple, and Isis Temple? Now, listen here before, because the imagination of many could go, way over there to the deep end, over there at 100 feet deep now, right? For clarity, let me add that these names could have possibly been added later, renaming of something that was already present. Because, we know, for those who are more astute here in history and in the reality that's around us, we know that tends to happen a lot. Okay? So, but even if this is the case, it is still present, these megalithic temples. And the historical record has been altered in some cases or totally hidden in others so that you may not know where and what time you reside in. This famous canyon in Arizona is actually an ancient array of pyramids. The sites even align with the same stars that the pyramids of Giza align with, the constellations of Orion and the Pleiades. Here is also the Zoroaster temple in the Grand Canyon, named by the Hopi Indians. Did they name it the Zoroaster temple? I kind of doubt that. The language is a little bit different and so on and so forth. But again, but that's that's the current name of it. And here is another cave entrance into the canyon. I hope you enjoyed what has been stated thus far, but this is not all that will be discussed tonight. Let me tell you something that may blow your mind. One of the entrances to the inner earth, one of the locations that will lead you possibly to Shambhala, is located within these ruins. The ancient Hopi, aka the Turtle Island natives, claim their ancestors came from the inner world. Now, let me add that just because you go beneath the surface doesn't mean you're in the hollow earth, which is depicted by many images. But nonetheless, the Hopi specify that the Grand Canyon is a place where the Hopi emerged from their underground shelter after the flood had destroyed the third world. They also mention these mysterious ant-like gods and flying shields that existed in the distant past. In fact, some of the petroglyphs found near the Mishonovi, Arizona, depict the beings with antennas, offering an idea of how these strange humanoid ant-men look like. Whenever we write about the inner earth, aka hollow earth, in the numerous ancient cultures that mention a place within our planet where there is life, we encounter hostility. But why? Is it because the existence of such a place contradicts everything we have been told and indoctrinated with concerning our past? Or is it because we are blindly following mainstream dogmas that have been put into place in the past, telling us it is impossible, to keep us only focused on what the puppet master wants? The idea that our planet is hollow can be traced back thousands of years, and like other popular accounts, nearly all ancient cultures speak of certain places on Earth where we can access the inner world. One such culture, as I mentioned already, is the Hopi. Not only did the ancient Hopi believe their gods inhabited the inner parts of the earth, they depicted mysterious ant-like beings and flying shields, as I mentioned previously. Ancestors of the Hopi were instructed and helped by these machines, which were flying machines in the form of shields. The Hopi tribe today live in Four Corners, the state of Arizona, near the Pacific coast, near the volcano Shasta, located in the mountains of the Sierra Nevada, California. The Hopi legends say that within the Shasta, there's a huge city where they took refuge, and beings endowed with powers belonging to a lost continent dwell. Dr. Dorrell in 1931 claims to have been able to access this underground world. Interestingly, their legends also speak of a great flood, which is a clear parallel to the ancient Sumerian legends of the Great Flood, where many today are rediscovering as the mud flood. Of course, I'm doing my hands again, quote unquote, the mud flood. If we take a look at the ancient Hopi and their beliefs, we will find that this ancient culture claims that their ancestors did not arrive from the north, not by ship, but from below the surface of the earth. In fact, the ancient Hopi indicate that the specific location of the Hopi legend is inside the Grand Canyon, where there are mysterious entrances to the inner earth. Their cosmology specifies that this is the place where the Hopi emerged from their underground shelter after the flood had destroyed the third world. All right. I want to put up some. Gotta keep changing these pictures here. In fact, there are numerous theories that suggest there are numerous entry points located in this canyon. And one of these is honored in a ceremony as the dwelling of an ancient parent race. This magical site is sacred and off limits to anyone but those who are in this particular area anyway of the Hopi people and those natives in the surrounding areas. So I hope that this podcast tonight kind of not only started to work that imagination of yours, but may even inspire you to be on a quest of self-discovery. Because Shambhala not only is an external place, but is also internal as well. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed tonight's podcast. As you see, we've been doing podcasts that are more shorter, that are dealing with primarily maybe one subject, maybe two, but trying to keep the subject matter unified. And so I really hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments below if you like this style of delivery, or if you prefer just more off the cuff live shows where we hit many different topics during a live show. But it could kind of be all over the place. Okay, so let me know. I do read, and others who help out, we read these comments. Okay, and if you have any questions and so on and so forth, we do take note of these, and it may not be answered right away, but we do put it, in our process to eventually be spoke on. So with that being said and done, we appreciate your patronage. This summer there's going to be many positive thought forms put out, and one of the upcoming projects that we're working on that will be released soon, just the thought of it and what could come forth from it will may activate many of your ancient memories. So with that, I wish everyone well. Till the next time we speak, take care.
This enchanted lullaby.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is, and each person should find that truth out for his or herself.
This enchanted lullaby. This enchanted lullaby.
You know what? Global family, look in the mirror. I want you to take a good look. You are the champion, the hero of your story. No matter how much praise you may give some of us who may help you on this journey, it is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Tony, again, I give you accolades for, I don't even know what to say, for all the efforts, man, that you put in my behalf.
There is no truth until you decide what truth is.
It is you who has to walk it. We are only a catalyst to help you see.
Person should find that truth out for his or herself.
To help you see.
For his or herself.